Hello, folks. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Rest my soda here. Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, some shameless shilling of Silver Dollar City. I got this shirt when I went out to Silver Dollar City last weekend. So, I told you I would show it. I don't know if it will show the Silver Dollar City part. But here we go. I never know how this camera works. I'm an amateur. What can I say? Alright, now that fun part's over and I'm still enjoying my funnel cake candle, although it makes me want to eat really bad things. Back to the usual disclaimers. As you know, folks, in the description box, you're going to see the link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, where they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals regards to JRC's quote-unquote, I can't talk, behavioral modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so bad that they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they do not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please like and share on all your social media. Fuck you, JRC. We also got NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit also linked in there, as well as their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC has the balls to see through with their threat. As well as, brain fart. It's been a long day. We also have the links in regards to the Agape boarding school situation. Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school for rebellious boy teens based out of Stockton, Missouri that has over 21 lawsuits against it that are alleging sexual abuse, physical abuse, starvation, as well as many other charges. As of right now, they have had one staff member arrested by the FBI. A former doctor that used to work there is now up on multiple corroborated charges and substantiated claims of sodomy and sexual abuse. So please, folks, they have kicked the can down the drive again. They have put off another week getting this school shut down while the state conducts their case. So please share these articles on all your social media. We also have linked the change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition. We also got the pertinent links, of course, to the Stop the Talks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. Now, this channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity on this channel and we talk about dark subjects. So, if your kid is at least under the age of between 16 to 18, parental advisory goes without saying. All right. Okay, we good. Parent your kids, folks. Parent your kids and quit making the TV do it. You saw how Gen X turned out. And compared to what's coming out after that, I'm just saying. You see where I'm going here, all right? All right, it is 3:47 in the afternoon. Obviously, my brain is gone, and I'm having problems with putting out coherent sentences. So if I stumble over my words like I already have, apologies in advance, all right? Okay, so where we left off the other day, we attempt to determine what consequences the aggression has produced for the student in the past. Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's start on this sentence here. Again, all they're focusing on is the behaviors. What are the consequences of those behaviors when they've had aggression? But never do they see what's triggering the aggression. And there's always a trigger, folks, whether it's something neurological that is firing wrong or it's psychological. There's always a trigger. You find that trigger and you find a way to treat that or provide reasonable accommodations, whatever you need to do, you take care of the root problem. But the JRC, they don't make money taking care of the root problem. They make money only focusing on the behaviors. And they don't care what means they have to do or use to do it. Presumably, aggression has produced some favorable consequences, and these consequences have strengthened the behavior in his and her repertoire. Here we fucking go again. This is this bullshit that ABA has been trying to sell for decades, and a lot of y'all have been eating it up like and just believing it. It's garbage. It's garbage. What these people do is they take, God, I even hate uttering this word, troubled neurotypicals and why they act that way and why they say it motivates them, and they try to apply it to a person who's not a neurotypical. We don't run like you do, we don't think like you do, and we are not motivated by the same things that you are. Please understand that. Get that through your heads. We are not like you. Okay? Maybe aggression might be something that gets favorable consequences for the neurotypical, and that's why they do it. But we are not the same. These behaviors are not coming out of some want for attention or want of a physical object or words or whatever the hell you think it is that we're trying to manipulate out of you. We are not manipulative creatures. We're honest as a fault creatures. Matter of fact, it has been remarked in multiple research papers and actually written as a fault, I might add, that we are honest always and are so rigidly attached to our own personal codes that we will not shift for them. We will not lie. We will not fib. We will not manipulate, even if it will benefit us. This has been marked by Yale, I might add, and we've gone over it on this channel because I ranted about the fact that they put that down as though it were a deficit. But JRC and ABA wants you to believe that we are trying to get something out of it. It's not how we're motivated, folks. This is not how the autistic brain works. The last fucking thing I want on the planet, when I'm having an autistic burnout, for example, or a meltdown, are people's eyes on me. I'm not a toddler. I am not throwing a temper tantrum to get something that I want out of it. Okay? If I am in meltdown, or as they would say, aggressive, something's really wrong. And it can be sensory, it can be emotional and psychological, it can be everything all at once. But while that is going on, we are not trying to get anything out of anyone. Okay? We're not trying to manipulate anyone. We're not that way. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm just sick and tired of it. See, in my field, I have dealt with these experts my whole adult life, my whole adult life, trying to get the medical model to sit down, shut up, and pay attention. I mean, you can hear it from the horse's mouth. That's what, when you come to this channel, you're hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, okay? You make base assumptions based on the behavior of neurotypicals, and you apply it to us, even when you know damn well that our brains are not even functioning the same. They're not even the same size. That came out of Columbia, Missouri. Our heads, our brains, tend to be slightly larger than that of a neurotypical. So our very brain makeup is different. You can't take a neurological disorder and the things that come from it and then say, well, they're trying to get something. No, Karen. A lot of people who study behavior will then say, well, what are you getting out of it when you have these behaviors? I'm not getting shit out of it, Karen. You know what you want to know what I get out of a meltdown? A massive headache, full body aches, and if it's a bad enough one, a low immune system for at least a good couple of days where I should probably not mingle out in public or I'm going to catch something. Okay? What we get out of meltdowns is not whatever we want, or whatever we're trying to manipulate or get attention. None of us want to have a meltdown. The consequences afterwards, physically and psychologically, are not fun for me. I don't enjoy losing my shit, especially being on the phone. Being a call center jockey and being autistic, being overwhelmed, when you know you can't have a meltdown and you need to gather your shit together in less than 2 seconds before the next caller calls, is a special level of hell. That is a special, special level of hell. Okay? I don't want anyone witnessing that. I'm not trying to get anything out of it. If anything, more often than not, I fight to push meltdowns down as far as I can until I can't push no more because of the side effects that come with it. So stop with this, we're trying to manipulate and get something out of it. No, we're not. What we want is some fucking logical help in order to at least bring the meltdowns down, okay? And no, I don't mean shock treatment by help. All right? And I'm sorry about the loud-ass lawn instruments out there. For example, aggression may in the past have caused the person who caused the frustration to back down and eliminate the frustrating situation. It also may have resulted in receipt approval from the person's peers. Oh, for fuck's sake. First off, to that first part. So what you're saying, JRC, is if in fact the person does something before we go into meltdown, in order to bring down the tension. If somebody does something to kind of calm the situation before we go into meltdown, that's a bad thing? Because it sounds like to me that was an action on the person's behalf, not ours. Nor was it an outcome we were trying to achieve by the time we've hit that point. But a decision made on that person's part that decided to calm down and try to accommodate us as best they can to defuse the situation. That is good, JRC. That is actually a good thing. Why are we discouraging this? Because you should be able to just handle the frustrating situation it's causing you to melt down. By the time I'm melting down, Karen, it's already too late. Okay? By the time the shit has hit the fan, all reason and logic has... Nah. You see what I'm saying here? You do, in fact, when someone sees that tension, and they see the person with autism getting more and more and more towards that meltdown state, you should actively try to find a way to defuse the situation. Because believe it or not, folks, meltdowns usually have multiple causes, and that current situation is usually just the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay? It also resulted in some receipt of approval from the students' peers. Oh, for fuck's sake, can we talk real talk? Let's talk real talk here. Never, ever in my entire whole going to public school, from kindergarten to my senior year, never has any of my autistic behaviors resulted in approval from my student peers. Are you all on crack? Any of my autistic traits came out in high school became fodder for bullying. That's what happened. There is no approval from your peers for having autistic traits. They make fun of you and they humiliate you. And yes, I even had some teachers engage in that type of behavior. My mother and my stepdad were not pleased and had a talk. Okay? It is completely batshit insane to believe that any of these autistic aggressions that come out, either pre or during meltdown, are done in order to garner our friends' approval. Literally not how any of this shit works. Autistic. Anybody's approval. I just want to be left the fuck alone. See? And he's schizotypal. He's not autistic. But he does have snaps similar to autistic meltdowns. I just want to be left alone to read my goddamn books in peace. See what I mean? Only he has a lot more control. By the time I get to that particular point, woo, we gone at that point. It's completely ridiculous for them to sit there and state that we're trying to get approval from our students' peers. It's once again trying to apply neurotypical kids' motivations onto kids who are not neurotypical. They are trying to put off their own bullshit onto us. We don't have the same motivations, Karen. We're not the same. Okay? As you can tell, as I kind of went off on that rant there, this stuff really bothers me. I've been hearing it for years. You'll all willfully ignore every time medical model that we try to correct you about what brings out these traits and these behaviors. You never listen, and that's why you never fix shit. The few times that things get better is when people do listen to us and create programs such as person-centered planning. What's the best thing about person-centered planning? Why does it work? Because you have to shut up, sit down, and listen to what we have to say on the matter. Then we can reveal things such as What do we feel is triggering these behaviors? Because more times than not, we can tell you. And this is true for nonverbals too. Give them reasonable accommodations. Give them a device that assists them in communicating with you. And just like I did right there, they can tell you what's triggering that behavior. And then, person-centered planning model is once that is revealed, you then strategize and write down some ideas on how to deal with that trigger. And that's why I will always be a proponent for that over every other program that I know is out there. For that very reason. Now I'm going to close out on that note. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.